Okay, let's talk about the toughest battle you are ever going to fight. And no, it's not against anyone else. It's the war that's happening inside your own mind every single day. On one side, you've got that magnetic pull of what you want right now. And on the other, that relentless push toward who you really want to become. So let me just ask you this, straight up. Pleasure today or success tomorrow? This isn't just some simple choice. It is the fundamental conflict that can literally define your entire life. This is all about balancing desire and goals, and trust me, mastering this is the key to unlocking everything you're capable of. And let's be real, this isn't a new problem. This isn't something you can solve with the latest productivity hack you saw online. Nope, this is an eternal conflict, a struggle that is just part of being human. So how do we even start to wrap our heads around these two crazy powerful forces? Well, this slide breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you have desire, or in Arabic, shahwa. This is all about those short-term urges, right? That craving for instant gratification. It's the easy path, the comfortable path. But then, on the other side, you have the goal, the hadaf. This is your big picture ambition, the promise of a reward you can only get to through the disciplined path. Theory is one thing, but let's see this battle play out in the real world. And we're not digging through history books for this one. We're going to look at a modern-day warrior who faces this exact conflict every single day, the Olympian. So, picture this, a young, super talented athlete. They've got one singular, all-consuming dream just lighting up their mind, standing on that podium, a gold medal hanging around their neck. That right there is their hadaf, their ultimate goal. But every single day, they're feeling that pull of shahwa. This slide just lays it all out. On the left, you've got the desire for junk food, for staying out late with friends, for maybe skipping that one really tough workout. That's the path of comfort. But on the right, that's the call of the goal, the strict diet, the punishing early morning training sessions, the discipline you need for peak performance. One path feels good now, the other one leads to gold later. And here's the secret, the thing that really separates the good from the great. The winning athlete doesn't turn into a robot. They don't just eliminate all joy from their life. No way. They become masters of their own energy. They make smart, strategic choices, prioritizing what fuels their goal, and just as importantly, setting boundaries against the things that drain them. And that whole idea of management, well, that's exactly where we're going next. The story of the Olympian shows us the what. Now let's get into the how. It's time to open up the toolkit for success, giving you the practical strategies to win your own internal battle. All right, here it is, your 6-step toolkit. First up, identify your triggers. You have to become a detective of your own mind. What makes you give in? Is it that 9 p.m. boredom? Is it stress from work? Maybe it's even a specific person. You can't fight an enemy you can't see. Step 2, redirect your energy. Look, just sitting there resisting an urge is exhausting, so don't just fight it. Channel that restless energy into something that actually moves you forward. Go for a walk, work on a project, call a friend. You're transforming temptation into productive action. Third, set clear goals. A fuzzy goal like, I want to get healthy, is basically useless. Your head-up has to be like a North Star, so bright and clear that it pulls you through the fog. I will run a 5K in 3 months. Now that's a target. 4, develop awareness. This is all about catching yourself in the act, learning to recognize that little voice in your head before you give in. Just understanding your emotions in that moment is half the battle. 5, get support. Seriously, stop trying to be a superhero. You are not in this alone. Talk to friends, mentors, anybody who can hold you accountable and give you a boost when your own strength is fading. And finally, number 6, live healthy. Your mind and your body are one system. It is nearly impossible to be disciplined if you're sleep-deprived and running on junk. Good food, proper rest, and managing your stress, that's the foundation everything else is built on. And this quote just captures the whole philosophy perfectly. Let this really sink in. Success doesn't come from eliminating desires, but from managing them. See, it's not about becoming less human. It's about becoming more intentional with your humanity. So we've seen the modern athlete who manages the balance. That's one approach. Now let's flip the script and look at a completely different way to do it. Let's look at a genius who didn't just balance his goal. He pretty much obliterated everything else in its path. Let's talk about Thomas Edison. You see, Edison's hadaf wasn't small. It wasn't just some project he was working on. His goal was literally to invent the future. Things like rest or leisure or normal comforts, to him, those were just distractions from his massive ambition. So just how dedicated was this guy? Well, this one number tells you everything you need to know. 100. That's how many hours Edison was known to work in a single week. He wasn't just working hard, he was completely consumed, often just sleeping for short bursts right there in his lab. So, what's the takeaway from a life like Edison's? His priority was absolute. He represents the extreme end of the spectrum, a powerful example of what can happen when your goal becomes so important that those short-term desires barely even make a sound. It just shows you the incredible power of intense, unwavering focus. Okay, so we have the Olympian who carefully manages and balances everything. Then we have Edison, who relentlessly puts his goal above all else. Two totally different paths, but both led to incredible success. So what's the common thread here? What's the true essence we can pull from both of these stories? It really boils down to these 4 core principles. First, you have to know your priorities. You can't have it all at once, so what truly matters? Because if everything's important, then nothing is. Decide what your gold medal is. Second, you have to build self-discipline. This is not something you're just born with. It is a muscle. Every time you choose the hard path over the easy one, you're doing another rep, getting stronger for the next time. Third, you've got to set clear boundaries. This is all about protecting your focus. Saying no to a distraction is really just saying yes to your goal. Think of these boundaries as the walls that defend your ambition. And finally, cultivate self-awareness, so you can be honest with yourself about where you're at. It lets you know when you're on track, and maybe more importantly, it's the alarm bell that rings when you start to drift off course. At the end of the day, your path to success isn't about becoming some perfect, desire-free machine. It's about intelligently managing the finite energy you have, not erasing the very things that make you human in the first place. Which leaves us with one final and really crucial question. Your energy is a limited resource. You only have so much to give each day. So when you look at the desires and the goals in your own life, where are you going to choose to invest it? If you got something out of this explainer, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for tuning in.